So I just wanted to make a little video now just to show you from this morning how just to get from where we are in North Abingdon into Oxford. It's not really that complicated, and the routes aren't great, but they are slowly getting a little bit better. The reason I wanted to put this up here now is because just going through Kennington, it's interesting to see that the housing developer there has just completed a little stretch of link path, which makes it a whole lot nicer. So I'm going to just start the journey here going around the top of Abingdon, and then when I get to Kennington, I'll slow things down and I'll show you what they've done. So another reason that I'm putting this video together is just because I want to show your average person basically how simple it is, and how I don't think you have to be super fit to make this sort of journey. You know, if you don't want to drive into Oxford, or you don't want to get the bus, or you don't think it's reliable enough, it's just to show you how it's really not that hard, and how you can get from A to B quite simply. So for this first bit of the journey, you can see that I'm using the cycle path that goes around the top of 12 Acre Drive, around the top of Peachcroft. And the first thing to say is that soon Bellway will be due to deliver a new path on the other side of the road, which will be nicer to use. It'll free up more space for pedestrians as well, but it will also be a nicer link up to the rest of the route, which we're going to come to on the rest of this video. One thing which would have been really nice, but which we couldn't get out of the planning process, was to get the developer to build a direct route through Peachcroft Farm and to link up to White's Lane the other side. That's the green arrow on this diagram here. It's not happening, but it may happen in the future if another development comes forward. So we then come to this junction, which, as I'm sure lots of you know, it's not very nice. It's a narrow space. It's not very easy to wait. But it is at the moment what links us up to this little farmer's track just on the inside of the field. And this is at least separated off-road route, which is much better than being on the road. And the key thing to note with this is that this will be improved as part of the Pye Homes development. As part of their development, they're due to upgrade this and the Radley Road roundabout that links with Audlet Drive. That, you know, ideally that should have been done already, but they've had legal issues around land ownership. But I've been assured that those are basically completed now, and so that should hopefully be coming in the next year or two. Anyway, this farmer's track sort of comes out here, just on the junction of White's Lane, where you head north and go around the outside of Radley. Now, I bet this is probably one of the weak links at the moment. Cars go quite fast. It's not a very nice surface, and it's quite exposed. But it does get a bit better the closer we get to Oxford. So I'm just going to skip this bit for a moment. Another thing to note here is that, as with another thing with the development over here on the right-hand side in Radley, is they are midway through the construction of a cycle lane which hugs the edge of that estate and goes basically from where we've joined the carriageway a minute ago, all the way around past these new houses on the right-hand side, and comes out in front of Radley College. So at the moment, you're going to have to use the road, but in future, that is again 100% separated and away from the road, and I think that's going to be really good. On the left-hand side here, the pavement then becomes the shared use walking and cycling path, and this provides you with an off-road route from this point on the edge of Radley, going past Radley College through to just the southern side of Kennington. Again, this isn't great, but it is off-road. And again, this has already been the subject to an approval for a new cycle track to take you all the way from that new housing in Radley, all the way to the bottom bit of Kennington. And that will be quite an improvement. So I've rejoined the carriageway here because the pavement gets a bit more narrow, and this is where I'm going to slow down the video a bit, because this is where the interesting stuff starts to happen. Now, as anyone who's cycled from through Radley and Kennington into Oxford knows before, typically in this bit, you go down a hill, there's a big flooded patch, and you have to carry on up the hill and then turn right at Sandford Lane. But now, if we look on our right-hand side, what was once a fence is now actually open. And so this is the thing we've been waiting for. Redrow, the housing developer, have removed the fence and we can now cycle through here. You can see we're following the green line on the map now, whereas before you had to use the red line, which went up through Kennington and then right down Sandford Lane. Looking at the floor, you've got a lot of thorns, sticks, twigs. The surface isn't great, but it is open at least for now. And it links up to the housing estate, which, yeah, admittedly, it's definitely half finished. The surface is half finished, but crucially, it's open, and that saves quite a lot of conflicts with cars, and yeah, just links up the route a bit more nicely. Obviously, it will be better in the future, but you know, I was cycling down this today, and I thought it was quite exciting. So, you know, I'd recommend it to anyone. So basically, you then just follow the edge of this estate, follow the path along the bottom, the railway line to your right-hand side. Make sure you always give way to pedestrians and give as much space as you can, and slow down if needed. But follow the path all the way to the bottom edge of the estate. Sandford Lane, which we've just bypassed, is in front of you. So take a right onto Sandford Lane for a moment, go under the railway line, take a right turn if you want to go and get your pastries from Proof Social, or take a left onto NCN5, which is the main route, which again follows the railway line most of the way into Oxford. It's a lovely paved surface and it's been here for a few years now. So yeah, that's pretty much all the new sort of cycle sort of provision around the Abington and Kennington Radley area that I was going to mention with this video. I'll leave this up now. I'll show you some of the highlights on the way into Oxford if you've not done this route before, but I will chop some bits out. So yeah, just let me know in the comments if you think this is a useful video, and if it is, then I'll do some more of it for routes around Abingdon in the future. So thanks for watching.